You like my jersey? I got the Southampton one before you.
Ugh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the D. We have another very special guest with us today, Josh Ramsey. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. So we want to get straight into talking about Arsenal because you said you're a pretty big Arsenal fan. Why don't you just tell us about the loss today? How are you feeling about that?
I mean, being an Arsenal fan these days, doesn't come as much of a surprise. You know, it's kind of our thing right now is losing big games, but I guess we can focus on the development for next season now because everything's kind of out the window for this year.
As a Chelsea fan, I agree with my team as well. We're not doing so great. Luke's a big Arsenal fan, though.
Yeah. Like Josh said, it gives us a bit more of a chance to focus on the league as well, because I think that finishing kind of in the top third of the league is going to be really important for Arsenal. Also because the league seems so open this year. It's kind of anyone's shot, and hopefully we'll get in a Europa League spot and be able to finish out the league strong. And hopefully we'll get some transfers in this January transfer window. It looks like we may get Martin Odegaard, which would be
That'd be
pretty
big.
good, I think. Yeah, I think that would be huge. So hopefully that goes through, and let's see.
I'm surprised. Well, talking a little bit about January, somebody you guys should have gone for, which now it's a little bit late. Papu Gomez. That's like $6 million for him. I mean, he's a great creator. He would have fit in perfectly for you guys. And Odegaard, you're gonna have him for half a season. That's not too long. Papu, you could have had him for the next 3-4 years maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what happens with Ceballos, but I think it's kind of the same thing with that. Is great. We have this great player, but can't really make that a main part of your team because, like you said, he's on loan and he's only going to be here half a year. So,
yeah, it looks like it may come out to be a loan with option to buy, which I think would be really good for Arsenal. Because it like with Danny Ceballos, we had this really good player come in. We had this uncertainty that like the manager was also facing. Like we kind of need this player, but we don't want to make him an integral part of the squad. But hopefully Odegaard can come in and play that 10 really strong and kind of create how Ozil did. But, he's a young, good player. And we're just kind of hoping and praying as Arsenal fans that he's going to come in and do something, let Alba get some goals on the sheet and let the young guys in.
Alba was finally getting back into form. He had a nice run. I mean, all of Arsenal had a nice run, and then obviously today was a tough blow. But I mean, you guys aren't doing too bad in league. You're only 2 points off of Chelsea, so.
Well, Chelsea's doing poorly. What's happening? I don't like how Arsenal's switching with Chelsea right now. You guys were in 15th place, and now, you guys are about to pass us because you guys play Southampton again on Tuesday, though. So, I mean, do you think you can win this one, or do you think it's going to be a repeat of what happened?
I mean, we were the better team, I feel, watching the game. We had all the possession. We had the ball. But that's every Arsenal game these days is having all the ball and still end up losing. So, hopefully we can get a different result.
Well, and their goal came a bit unfortunate off a cross and just an unlucky clearance that went into the back of the net.
Good finish from your defender there.
So frustrating, but hopefully we'll get some goal scoring, some creativity in the midfield with Odegaard.
Were there any rumors of getting Odegaard? Because when he said he was going to Arsenal, I hadn't heard anything prior to his decision.
I saw that there was rumors, and then that he was opting to go to, I think it was Sociedad. He preferred it, but then it flipped back. So,
well. I think originally it was they had already set on Sociedad, and he was about to agree with them, and that was going to go through. And then Arsenal came in, and I was reading this thing. He said he had a long talk with his family, and they all decided together Arsenal's probably the better move. So then he just switched sides, and now it's looking very promising for Arsenal.
There we
go.
Go
ahead.
Go on.
How much is the option to buy? Do you know?
My guess is it'll be around 32 million, but I could be wrong. But also the other thing is I don't think he wants to be a lone warrior. Like kind of how Chelsea does. They just loan out a bunch of players, but you're still a Chelsea player.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants. I think he wants to join a club permanently and be a starter, which I think Arsenal is offering him.
Would be good for his career too, because
For
I mean,
sure.
it was him and you remember Emery Moore
Yes.
back in it. Like they were like two guys that were. I mean, I don't know what happened to Emery Moore, but like Odegaard sort of went under the radar a bit. Now he's starting to emerge again. I think Arsenal will be a good fit for him just to play in the Premier League. I don't like it. I don't like that you guys are getting these players. I really don't like it. I hate
It's
it.
great. This is great.
Chelsea spent 250 million and we're in 9th place right now.
Yeah. How's Havertz?
Give him time, man. Give him time, bro.
Bust.
Hey, don't talk too soon. Don't talk too soon. Odegaard. Odegaard
Honestly.
could turn into the next Havertz. You don't know.
He could turn into the next Pepe.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
But that's okay. That's okay.
So, Josh, out of obviously you guys got Odegaard, but what do you think is number one on Arsenal's list after you guys get Odegaard, or who do you want to see come to the club?
I feel like we need a marquee defender is really what we need. Like we have David Luiz. Obviously we lost, what was his name?
Well, Mustafi's on his way out.
Mustafi's gonna leave. So I feel like we have quality players, but we need one big name defender, I feel.
Like a Thiago Silva, but no.
Exactly.
You'll get him when he's 40. He's staying with us for another few years. Let us have this one. We have a good defense for the first
Reunite
time.
David Luiz and Thiago Silva.
Like,
Yeah.
David Luiz.
PSG days.
Yeah.
I hate David Luiz. Oh my goodness.
Liz.
Glad
Loved
he's
him
been
until he moved.
Yeah, he was my favorite player until he left us on deadline day 2 summers ago or whenever it was. And he hasn't really been performing as well as you guys probably thought, huh?
He's getting old.
That's true. But you can still be class. I mean, Thiago Silva's pretty good.
He's kind of had a resurgence, I feel.
Oh yeah, just going to the Champions League final with PSG and making that move to Chelsea was great for him and great for us because it's the first time in a long time that we've actually had a solid backline now with Chilwell and James and Zuma.
You guys haven't had really consistent backline since Terry and Cahill.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's been so
jeez,
long.
that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Rudiger, Christensen, David Luiz, man, not good. But definitely not saying we have a Terry and Cahill right now, but it's better than a David Luiz Rudiger situation, I guess.
I think the other thing on Arsenal's kind of watch list, and I don't know if this has been confirmed yet, but it looks like Arsenal was going to sign Matt Ryan, I think is his name.
It's confirmed.
Is it?
I think so.
So he has the worst save percentage in the league right now. I don't know why we signed him. And Runarsson had the worst save percentage when we signed him, and he turned out to be an absolutely terrible goalie. So I think we're making some really bad decisions.
Yeah, but no, you just need a backup. Like that's all he's gonna be.
Yeah, well, and we were talking about because we were watching just the highlights before this, and Leno is amazing, and we were talking about how underrated he really is because he has 2 Ter Stegen and Neuer world-class goalies in front of him for the German team. So obviously he doesn't get minutes there, but he's so underrated. Like he saves us a lot.
We need to give him some help. Is what we needed.
Yeah. Well, which is what Emi Martinez was, and now he's doing amazing things over at Aston Villa.
They're playing right now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're up 2-0.
2-0 against Newcastle?
Yeah.
Aston Villa's not a bad team compared to how they were last season. They're not too bad.
Jackie Grealish. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hey, what about the Scottish?
Yeah,
Zidane?
also Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley, the
Ross
English
Barkley.
Messi. I mean, come on. He's coming back he's never going to play for Chelsea again, I don't think. Chelsea just loaned out Drinkwater to some random, it's like a Chinese team or something like that. Did you see he played in the academy? It was like a under 21s game for Chelsea, and he like 2-footed a guy and got sent.
Yeah, he got red carded against 21-year-olds.
Yeah, it was
That's
the kid
low.
was like 20 years old, and he just almost broke his leg. It was terrible. I hate it. Sometimes I hate
it would
being
be
a Chelsea
Danny
fan.
Drinkwater.
Well, Eco's an AC Milan fan because I'm a Chelsea fan. Luke's an Arsenal fan. All our friends are Premier League fans except for Eco because he's.
I'm Italian. I gotta stay in Italy.
So he can just bash on everybody without getting his feet stepped on. Is that what it is?
I mean, we're having a pretty solid season. All I'm saying.
First time in since you guys won the Champions League.
Hey, we've only lost twice this year. Not
loss
too
today.
bad. Not big loss today, but it was expected. We didn't have a lot of our stars.
But that was
Well, you
okay. That's okay because you guys have been doing so well. It's okay to lose.
Yeah,
Well, it's not okay
And
to lose, but it's
Inter
okay to
drew.
lose every now and then.
we're still first. I'm
Yeah.
happy with it.
A 2-point gap, right?
2 points, yeah.
Because Inter drew today, which would be.
Yeah, they're one chance.
I don't
Yeah,
want
they
AC
would've
Milan to win the league or Europa League because
Yeah.
you will just go on about it for the next year.
I mean, the amount of stuff I've had to hear from Aiden about how bad we are, and finally we're doing so good, and Chelsea's doing so bad. It brings me so much joy.
I'm really mad. You know, Chelsea was like exploring the option of Erling Haaland. I'm like, we can't do that. We've bought
You should have done that instead of Havertz and Werner. You guys should have just bought Haaland.
Yeah, we were talking about that the entire summer, or Mbappe.
It would have been a better waste of
Why don't I
money.
get Josh's perspective on this? Because I don't think I'm that crazy. So, would you rather have signed Chilwell? Forget about the the performances they've had, whether it's bad or good.
No, the performances are everything.
No. We're talking about pre this season.
Pre-signing in the summer.
Havertz, Werner, Mendy,
Chilwell,
Silva.
or Mbappe. Would you rather have all 5 of those or Mbappe?
I mean, Mbappe's a special talent. But,
Yeah.
Let's go get it.
I mean, the other guys are all young. I mean, I still think Werner's a world-class player. Just give him a year to adapt to the Prem. I mean, you see that a lot with guys who come to the Prem. It takes them a year, or they get a slow start, and then don't count them out till after next year.
Thank you. Can you tell that?
No, but
Havertz.
Havertz is a different story.
Yeah.
Havertz is a different story.
No, he's not. He's not.
Werner's actually been able to
Werner's done
score a
something.
couple times. He had a good start. Havertz hasn't had a good run
Give him
yet.
time to adjust. All right. Havertz is still really young. He's 21. Werner's 24. Both monster seasons in Germany. They come to a new league, in a league country they've never played in before. Give him some time. Listen to Josh. Thank you for not being good.
The Prem's a whole different animal. Like,
Exactly.
It is.
no matter who you are.
Just give him time, guys.
But they were both proven in Champions League. Well, not Havertz. Was Havertz in Champions League?
No, I think
Think
it was
so.
Europa, wasn't it?
Europa. But
Leverkusen.
Werner was and
Werner's in Champions
proved himself pretty well.
RB Leipzig have arguably done better without Werner. Are doing better without Werner.
Well, they didn't really have Werner
Yeah,
from like
No,
the
I mean
round
right now,
from
though.
round of 16 on. They didn't have
but
him last year.
he kind of got them there. To be fair,
That's what I'm
a
saying. But
little
in the league right now in Bundesliga, they're doing bits right now without.
but also their
without
defense has been sorted this year, and their midfield has been so good.
Yeah,
could
but
name-
Upa's leaving. He's gonna be
Well-
gone. It's gonna be tough.
And I want to bring up another point with Leipzig. Sabitzer, we've seen a lot of rumors of him leaving Germany and coming to a Prem team.
Arsenal.
I think I'd like to see that. He is a
And they-
strong center mid.
But they're also prepared for that already because they bought Sabotzlai, who's gonna replace him.
Yeah.
So they're prepared to sell him.
Yeah, and they're both really great players. And we were trying to get the other guy, and it didn't work out. But now we're gonna get Odegaard, hopefully, which I think will turn out to be better. He's a bit more of a matured player.
I don't watch Arsenal, so you guys are gonna have to tell me. You and Josh are gonna have to tell me because I don't know. Thomas Partey, is he playing well? Up to your
He doesn't really play though.
Well, he had a bit of an
No.
injury.
Yeah. He
Got it.
kind of came here. He performed well when he first got here, and then he got injured, and we're just now seeing him back. So he hasn't really had a chance really to prove himself.
Okay, I didn't know he got injured. I should
Yeah,
probably
he
pay
had
more
a
attention.
groin or a hamstring thing and kind of kept been sidelined. But when he's in, he controls the game. It's ridiculous. Like the way that he slows tempo down or speeds it up makes him a really strong player.
He is a
He's
good signing.
He's also great on both sides of the field. I mean, he's good on the attack and he's also very strong in defense.
Yeah,
So
it's exactly what we needed.
if you guys were to make a signing, let's say, like you said, a defenseman, a good defender, is Europa League out of reach right now, or do you guys think you could push for 6th, 7th place?
Honestly, I mean, you kind of have to have that to get a big name guy, really. So I feel like we just got to have some results go our way outside of us, really, is what it comes down to.
It's gonna be a battle between Chelsea and Arsenal for Europa League spot.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Luke, I just want to remind you of the 2019 Europa League final. Ollie Giroud scoring against Arsenal to bring home the trophy for the boys.
That's my biggest thing. I hated seeing him go. Hated it.
I loved him.
Yeah, I love him now. Yeah,
There's
but
a
you guys-
jersey on the wall right there, and he's on it. An Arsenal jersey.
if you're an Arsenal fan, you can't hate Giroud. Oh, actually, I don't know. Do you guys have any hate towards Giroud that he left?
No.
So it's one of those, like, not going to compare him to Eden Hazard, but like when he left for Real Madrid, no Chelsea fan hated him. We're like, all right, say our Willian.
It's just kind of a thing that was like he was such a legend at the club that it's like you just can't come to terms to like disrespect him because it's like he did so much for us. Like I really think he's like one of the most underrated Arsenal players, or like one of the most underrated strikers of all time. Like if you even look at his stats for like France, and like he scores so many goals, and he brought Arsenal a lot of goals.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there with some of the most French goals of all time. I think he's like third in most French goals of all time.
Really up there.
Eden Hazard said that he's the best target man in the world. You say he did a lot for Arsenal. What did he do for Arsenal?
FA Cups?
Individually, maybe. You FA Cup, maybe? I mean,
Yeah. But he was just kind of a standout player.
I mean, you could always count on Giroud. The way I
that's
look
true.
at it. He could go get, if you need a goal, he'll get you one. Somehow, some way, he'll find a way.
That is very true. He's
but-
been Chelsea's best player of 2020 in some people's eyes because he's performed way better than Abraham and Werner. And
But
whenever he
Abraham and Werner still get the start over him.
That's just Lampard.
sometimes.
Yeah, that's just
No,
Lampard.
he's
going
getting.
crazy.
They said he's under critical examination right now with the club. If we don't win, okay. Well, if we lose to Luton Town, which I hope we don't, but if we somehow do, Lampard's gone. But Lampard will probably be gone if he doesn't win the next 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, he needs to pick up his slack for sure.
I love Lampard. I'm sad. I'm really sad that he's.
I love him as a player, not as a manager. Great player. Not a great manager.
If
As
I'm a
player.
Chelsea fan, I wouldn't be too mad about him going because you can go and get Tuchel, who brought PSG to the Champions League final. I mean, that's not a bad replacement.
Yeah, no, I actually wanted him.
He's a good manager. I don't understand him getting sacked at PSG. I think that was a little weird, but
They just wanted to win.
yeah,
Pochettino, that's a good signing though.
yeah.
A good appointment. Especially as a former PSG player. It's like sometimes you look at managers and you're kind of like, there's no way they played professionally. But then you look at
Like Jose.
Jose,
Yeah.
Pep, I mean Klopp. They all played professionally.
Well, Pep was like the top of the, he was one of the best.
Pep
center
was
mids of all time.
Barcelona.
But like Jose, you're like, really? He
And
played
He
he
played
was
for some,
not
like,
that good.
youth
No,
team, and then
Porto, right?
what was it? Yeah, no, I don't think it was. I don't think he played.
I think
for
it was Sporting. I think he
Man.
played for Sporting.
Who
Did
knows?
he? And then I think Klopp played.
Klopp played in
Dortmund.
it was like I don't want to say Stuttgart, but it was one of those teams. In the
Yeah,
Bundesliga.
or like yeah.
But there are just some managers that are much better as managers than players. 100%.
Well, and then you have the opposite. It's like Frank Lampard, just a better player than a manager.
Or Mikel Arteta. What do you guys? What do you?
Oh, let's slow down with that.
Arteta
All right,
is not
all
a
right.
good manager. I'm sorry.
Mikel
he is
Arteta,
awful.
Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, and Ollie Giroud would rip up any team.
in their prime, maybe.
In their prime.
2014.
Yeah, didn't Jack Wilshere have a pretty bad injury?
Jack
Yeah.
Wilshere. It's Jack Wheelchair.
Yeah,
He's always there.
he's injury.
He was the
prone.
best though. He was great. We need old Jack Wilshere back.
Isn't he at West Ham? I'm not keeping up with Jack.
Something
Wilshere.
like that. Yeah, some team like West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I actually just thought of an interesting thing. I want to ask all of you guys to see your opinions on this. What player can you see being a really good manager after they retire?
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ego just
Is
hates- Ego
Ronaldo?
likes
No,
Messi.
no.
Okay, I can make a case for this. I can make a case for this.
No, I don't think he's not going to be a good manager. I don't think he's going to get into being a manager. I think once he's done, he's done. He's out.
No. I
You
think
love
he
the game
loves
so
soccer
much you
too
can't get away
much.
from it.
Yeah, but when you're like Ronaldo, he doesn't need to be a manager, and I think he would much rather just spend probably time with his family, enjoy his life rather than doing football 24/7.
But that's
Think
his
of it
love.
more like Zidane. It's like he loves the game so much, and like we also saw that I think it was the 2018 Euros where he was coaching his team when he got injured.
Yeah.
Like he was the coach.
Oh, Ronaldo. In 2016. Oh,
Like
they took him as
we
Zidane,
saw him kind of step up and be the coach. But also I think a lot of times like players who are like captain type of players, like how Wayne Rooney and like Steve Gerrard have been like really good managers as of right now. I think players like those, like it's not that hard to like step up. It's just like when you're the captain of a high level team like that, it's not that much different than being a manager almost.
I think I'm not just saying this because he's an AC Milan player.
Yes, you are.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think, would be one of the greatest managers. I mean, that guy, you see him on the field for AC Milan with all these 21-year-olds, and he's like yelling at them, he's controlling them, but he like helps them play so much better. I think as a manager, he could go down as one of the best ever because he's so influential.
I think he'd be like a Mourinho type character.
Yeah. Big ego.
Well,
like, yeah.
today it was actually pretty funny. It was like at the end of the game, Zapata had just scored on us, and then he was like kind of talking trash in the box to Zlatan, and you could vaguely hear like in Italian, Zlatan said like I have more goals in one season than you have in your whole career. Like, don't talk to me. Like, he's just that kind of guy.
Yeah, I love the confidence. I love it.
I'm thinking of Thomas Muller, to be honest with you. I don't know. I just feel like his energy.
Well, and he's a very smart player. That's kind of his style as the Ramdeuter, or the Space Invader. Is that
what that means?
Yeah, Ramdeuter is Space Invader or Space Creator. He's a very smart player. He's not like him. Sorry, Josh, you're not gonna like this comparison, but Dele is kind of the Ramdeuter for Spurs. And he's just kind of very smart.
I'm sorry, what?
No,
wait a minute.
He's not like, because these players, like, no offense to Thomas Muller, but he's not the most like technically gifted player. Like his shooting's not great. He's not fast. He's not strong.
He's smart. He's
smart. That's why he'd be a good manager, because he's smart like that.
That's what
Luke is slightly going off of FIFA stats right now.
No.
Just because he's bad in FIFA, Luke's like he's not that good.
But when you watch them play, like
the
way he creates is ridiculous. But when he's off the ball, you're like, this guy plays soccer. Like, look at the way he's built. Like, he's a stick.
You say off the ball, so Luke obviously. Well, you play club, Luke. Josh is a bit more on a higher level than you.
Yeah.
Iko and I don't play at a club level. So do you guys notice that when you watch the games, like off ball movement and all that stuff?
Yeah, we do. And I think the best example of like the best player at that is Messi. He's just the way he uses this, like, just he makes the pitch his own and he controls everything on it just by he sees things that he says, okay, if I do this, this is going to happen. And he's always thinking 3 steps ahead and using the field and his space to his advantage all the time.
Yeah, and he's so natural at it. He doesn't have to think. He just kind of does. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Which we see with a lot of great playmakers. Yeah, like the best playmakers ever are like that. And you see them just open up space no one can. Or find little gaps, little pockets.
And sometimes it's not even like to create for themselves. It's, oh, I'm going to go here, so 3 guys follow me, and that leaves my other teammate open. So,
yeah.
I got to pay more attention to that. I saw one thing Messi did a few years back when he was offside and he smartly like let it go to, I think it was like Pedro or something. So I've seen some of the smart things he does, but I don't really see it in the eyes of a soccer player like you or Luke, I guess.
Yeah, the way he moves, he's ridiculous. Yeah,
he's so
good.
And if my eyes are crazy right now, is that a Turkish thing in the back of your?
Yeah, it's I got that at the friendlies. We played a friendly against Turkey with the nationals.
Really? And then in the Netherlands as well, you played?
Yeah. So
tell me about that. That's interesting.
It's just national team as a whole. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. So I got my first call up about last summer, 2019 summer, and so growing up, like all my friends or teammates or players I'd play against in leagues would always get call-ups. And I had this coach and he's like, you don't want to be the first one. Like U14, U15, like, trust me, you want it later because that's when it matters. And so I just stayed the course and then finally got my opportunity in U17 and just it was kind of surreal almost. Like it's just a cool experience. First days you're a little on edge, you're a little nervous, but once you get in the flow of things, like it's great. And just being able to play against kids your age, from halfway across the world. It's bizarre to see like, oh, like it's not that much of a gap really anymore than it used to be. So just
Yeah.
exciting.
And can you tell us a little bit more about like what it's like representing your country? Because when you're on the national team, like you're representing America.
It's a special moment, like for sure. Just, I mean, it's hearing the national anthem and stuff. You kind of get goosebumps. You walk in and you see the USA jersey like lined up, and that's your kit you're gonna wear. It's like, I mean, I'll never forget the first time. Like my first cap was crazy. Like just all this hard work is starting to pay off on the way.
How did you find out you were going to be representing the United States?
So I was on before the U17 World Cup. Got called into that July camp. So it was like the last camp basically before the World Cup. So we are at the DA. You guys familiar with the? So we were at playoffs in Oceanside, and it was the coach. My coach was like, "Oh, he's coming to watch you today." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So let me make the most of it. And then I performed well, had a good performance. And then I think 2 days later, we were in the hotel and he comes up to me. He's like, I got a pretty cool email for you. And it was me and my other center back, us two, we both got called in. So it was a pretty special moment for both of us.
That's incredible. I mean,
and then what club did you play
I played for Solar Soccer Club.
Where is Solar?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. So you've been all around Texas so far.
Yeah, so my whole career I've been kind of local, but not.
And then have you signed a contract with San Antonio? Was it?
So last year I played for San Antonio FC on they called it I forget what it's called. It was called like an academy agreement. So Solar made an agreement with San Antonio so I could play with them as an amateur, so on an amateur contract. So I could still keep my college eligibility. So I just kind of, because you don't want to throw that away too soon.
No.
Yeah.
Of course. So
yeah, and the college matters a lot for getting drafted.
For sure.
So college, you've committed or?
I've signed I'm signed to Notre Dame. So
amazing. So you will be playing Notre Dame soccer. Congratulations. That's amazing. Were there any other options? Was Notre Dame your top choice?
So it came down to 3 schools. So Maryland I loved, and Wake Forest I loved, and Notre Dame. But it's kind of like everybody says it, but like you'll know when you step on campus. But it's the truth. Like I went to other schools, and then when I came to Notre Dame, I was like, that's it. Like just the culture and just the history of it, along with like. It's a good program too, and a lot of good things over in South Bend.
I mean, all three of those programs are amazing. I know because my brother went to Wake Forest. He would always talk about like how great the soccer team is there. Notre Dame obviously has amazing. Maryland is like, they're not that great in many sports, but they're actually very good in soccer.
Yeah,
Maryland's like their soccer. It's like how big of a school it is. Like their soccer program is like it's one I'd say. Yeah. Next to basketball, it's their main sport.
Yeah.
When I went on my visit, there was 3,000 fans in attendance, which is like crazy.
For soccer, that's unheard of. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. And how did that feel when you were like, you signed it and you were just like, oh.
Yeah, so I've been committed for like a year. And so I was like, okay, here we go. It's finally, we're getting to the because you're just sitting there, you commit, and then you wait. And it's kind of like that period where like, it's like, okay, I've done this. You get the excitement of committed, and you're like, well, now I got to wait. For me, it was like 2 years till I get on campus. But now it's like, all right, we're getting closer. We're getting there.
So you committed when you were a junior?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Wow. And remind me of the high school you go to?
So I went to Plano West Senior High School. And now I'm on an online school.
Right. Yeah. Everything's on Zoom now. I mean, insane. But so is your main goal? Because I know Luke just said something about the draft. Is your main goal to enter the MLS draft or something else?
Yeah. So you see a lot of what really like my goal is to make it to professional level, and I think the best pathway for me right now is through the MLS draft. You know, being the defender, they don't play 18-year-old defenders, so it's like, let me go to college, let me develop more as a player and get physically stronger, taller, and just get ready for that next level. So when I do get the chance, I'm ready.
So you're planning on just playing at Notre Dame as much as you can until you feel ready to enter that draft.
Basically, like you saw with Mark McKenzie. I mean, he went to college, went to the MLS, and now he's at Genk. So
Yeah.
it's just it makes me feel more comfortable. Well, not comfortable. It gives me a better sense of, okay, it's possible for me to make it to the top level while still getting a college degree.
Yeah, which matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Is it
Notre
fine?
Dame's a really good school to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you picked a good school to play at as well.
100%. I think I saw on your Instagram like a picture of you signing the thing or whatever. I'm not sure how the college stuff works.
Signed a ting.
But I was amazed because Notre Dame is a really good school academically and athletically. So you played for FC Dallas Academy, right?
So I'm currently playing with them right
Currently playing with them.
Yeah.
So if you enter the draft, is FC Dallas the team that you would like to be selected by, or is there another team that you'd want to play? Like, what MLS team are you, most wanting to play with?
now. I mean, so FC Dallas would be like my ideal place because growing up, my whole family comes see me play. So just
Yeah, that's pretty
to
sweet.
be able to have them come watch me at the professional level would just be unreal. Like, so overall, my goal is to sign for FC Dallas one day.
That would be amazing. We hope you get drafted to LAFC.
Yeah,
that's
get in.
We need that MLS Cup. So
Yeah, get it
As lo-
for us.
as long as you don't get drafted by the Galaxy, I think we won't really have a
No,
problem.
whoa. Yeah, we want Galaxy.
Oh, come on.
No.
You just said that because of Ibra. That's why.
Yeah, of course. No question.
Played a season there. You're a Galaxy fan all of a sudden.
Yeah. I had to pick one team. Might as well be the rivals of you guys.
Of course,
Fair
you always go against
Yeah.
us. Luke and I can agree sometimes just to hate on you. Like,
We're just both anti AC Milan at this point.
pretty much.
Just going against whatever Eco says.
Exactly. So what made you an Arsenal fan? Is this something you just chose, or?
It's funny because Aaron Ramsey made me an Arsenal fan. Really,
Nice.
like and just watching him, like, oh, that guy has the same last name as me. So every time I'd be like, let me watch them, and I just love watching them play. Like, no, I can't really watch any other Premier League teams like I can Arsenal. Like, sure, I'll watch a Derby game, a City United game, a Chelsea Spurs game, but I can watch any Arsenal game. It doesn't matter. Like if they're playing West Ham or Bournemouth or a club or lower league club, even FA Cup ties where they're playing nobody's. Like I love watching them play.
It is interesting to hear everyone's story on how they became a fan of who they are, because Chelsea fan here in America, like you kind of have to choose a
Yeah.
Premier League team. Like, I mean, Luke, how did you get into Arsenal?
This is my dad. My dad was like
Yeah.
an Arsenal fan in the 90s, and he was just like, okay, we're Arsenal fans now. And I just grew up as an Arsenal fan.
That's nice. You have like the because obviously Eco's Italian. He's got the family from Italy and all that. But like for me, I was a Chelsea fan because I was watching Chelsea versus Man City a long time ago, and Didier Drogba missed a penalty, and I felt bad. So I was like, oh, I'll be a Chelsea fan, and then here we are. Like,
Now we're
it's like
here.
these stories are just so weird. But it makes sense, Ramsey, because obviously he was a good player, and then sharing the last name.
Yeah.
Should we get into our game?
We do have a game for. We're all gonna play, but basically, I'll let Luke explain his game.
So we're gonna do a little bit of transfer market value, higher or lower. So I've got 5 names and values written down, and I'm just gonna give you guys an example. If I say Gareth Bale, higher or lower than 25 million euros, you would guess higher or lower, and then I would reveal.
Okay.
All right. So first one, Eco's gonna like this one. Aiden's gonna like this one. We got Fikayo Tomori. I have him at 16.6 million. Do you think it is higher or lower than 16.6 million?
Is there an about right?
No, it's I've made them all far enough that there is an answer.
I, I'm gonna go with higher. I mean, they put like a $25 million option to buy on it, so I feel like it's got to be higher than 16 mil.
Okay.
No, I'll go higher as well.
All right.
I would normally disagree with you guys just to like make it more interesting, but as a Chelsea guy, I'm gonna say higher.
All right. And
gonna be
you
lower.
guys have all gotten a point. Transfer market ranks him at 18.7 million.
So you picked
Yeah.
like right below.
Yeah, not far off.
All right, next one. We already talked about this guy a little bit. Hopefully he's on his way to Arsenal. We got Martin Odegaard, 37.8 million. Do you think he is higher or lower than 37.8 million?
Lower, 100%.
Yeah, he's more still of a prospect, like so lower.
I agree. He's not one of those like. He's not a Kai Havertz.
You guys are all in agreement again?
I have
Lower?
to. Yeah,
You
it's
guys-
gotta be lower. Yeah.
Well, poor guys, you are all wrong.
Really?
Transfer market has him at
38.
44 million.
Really?
Yeah,
How much
good
did-
bit higher. Good bit
How much
higher.
did Real buy him for?
They bought him when he was super young.
Yeah. No, they bought him when he was.
They probably got him for like
Okay.
12 million is my
Okay, okay.
guess.
Or probably less. I mean, he was like not even considered like a.
Yeah,
one for
he was
the
like he was a
future.
prospect at
Yeah.
that point.
But he's still. But
Um,
like Josh was saying, he's not like a.
He's
I don't
still
think
a-
he's 44 million. Yeah,
Yeah.
he still is.
Yeah,
He's what is he? He's 23 probably.
I don't think he should have been 44 mil. That's a bit hefty, I think.
Yeah, I know. But next one, we got another Arsenal player. He's currently out on loan. Sead Kolasinac. The higher or lower than 12.2 million.
Higher.
All right. Straight off.
I'm gonna go with lower.
All
Oh,
right. All right.
man. I think higher, but I'm
Okay.
gonna say like 16 million or something like that.
Well, you doubled his price. He's 8.8 million.
Yes.
Oh
So-
man,
Currently, Eco's in the lead because he's the only one that went with.
this is
Something
gonna be the only game that
you
you
other
won.
two didn't. Eco is gonna like this next one. We got Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I
Oh, wait,
know
wait,
him.
I
I
know
know.
Do you?
Well, Eco probably knows it. Well, I don't
unless
know.
he
Okay.
unless he puts it on the and say it.
Let's see.
No, I did not put it on the DOF. I said 14.6 million.
Lower.
Higher or lower?
Lower. He's almost 40.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
he is beasting for us.
okay, but Luis Suarez was like 5 mil, and he's still,
Zlatan's 5
Okay,
mil,
but they
right?
robbed for Luis Suarez. That was a rob.
they did, but he's I'm
All
gonna
right.
go lower.
Zlatan's
You guys
5.
want to take? You want to take a guess?
5.
Eco says 5.
5 or
7.
6.
What do you think, Aids?
4.
4.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
7.
Jeez, disrespecting
That
him.
is
You said
low.
5.
What'd you say, Aids?
I said 7.
5.5. 5.5. So you guys all got that. All right, last one. I put this one as the tiebreaker. I put this really close.
We just need Eco to not win.
We have Takefuso Kubo, who I would love to join Arsenal. Probably will never happen, but kind of a cool player to watch. Is he higher or lower than 21 million? Keep in mind his
Ooh.
age. He's been out on loan a lot. So age says lower.
Higher.
I say lower.
Ego says higher.
Oh,
And don't get mad at me. I'm telling you now that it's really close. So
I'm gonna go higher.
higher.
no. Oh gosh. Okay.
Ooh, we
Sounds
got
like-
drama. 22.
No.
Yes.
So I think that's a first place for Eco, second place for Josh. Good old last place
Aiden,
for
Aiden always
Aiden.
comes in last.
Listen.
Aiden only got one right. No, two.
Oh man, that hurts a little bit. I don't know. I just thought I don't even have a thought process for that. Well, hopefully you said it was an Arsenal target, or you guys?
I would just love him to come. I like
Oh.
him as a player.
Why? You have Bukayo and you have Pepe.
Yeah, but it's-
Why-
Why'd you say it like that?
He's so cool. He's an entertaining player. In my mind.
All right. Well, I guess that concludes the game, and that concludes the podcast. Very special guest again, Josh Ramsey. Good luck in your future. Good luck at Notre Dame, and thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.